Hi everybody, I am back again with yet another video, and it is a CD haul video. I know you're so excited. I know you're all like, wow, CDs, yeah, whatever. But I've been watching a lot of videos lately, and a lot of people are saying there might be a CD revival on the cards. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it, to be honest. But what I do know is that at the moment is a unbelievable time to pick up CDs. Unbelievable prices, just ridiculous. People are just chucking them left, right, and centre. They're throwing them out by the bucket load. So I thought this year I'm going to try and keep up with my CD purchases as well as the vinyl. Not that I did a very good job of that last year, but here we go. So these are all vinyl. There we go. These are all CD purchases that I got from various charity shops, car boots, all over the place. In the first half of January. Now this is the first half of January alone, and I'm going to rattle through these because there's a fair load of them. So let's start off with that one. So we've got a bit of hip hop. So we've got Jurassic 5. So this is I like a bit of hip hop. I like tend to like early 90s hip hop, and Jurassic 5 are a really good hip hop band. I've heard bits and pieces of them before, but it's quite nice to have this one in my collection. Yeah, it's a really interesting listen. So that's that one. So Jurassic 5. What else did I get? This was an excellent country collection that I got. Now this is apparently the soundtrack from a film by Ken Burns about country music. I think it's a history of country music. I'm sure Headley's probably seen this, probably. But this is a brilliant intro to country music. It just goes from Carter Family, Jimmy Rogers, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band on very early. People like Patsy Montana and the Prairie Ramblers, Bob Wills, Roy Acuff, and it goes all the way through to people like who we got. Dwight Yoakam, Roseanne Cash, all the way through all kinds of people. It's a brilliant compilation, absolutely fantastic. So there we go, there's that one. That was like 50p or something silly. Right, what we've got next. This was a good listen. There's some good tracks on here. This is Johnny Kidd and the Pirates. Budget CD compilation, but it's all original recordings, which is fantastic. Of course, their only big hit was Shakin' All Over, which was an absolutely stupendous song. It is so good. It sounds so good even now. Their other stuff is kind of more of a take on early 60s pop. But there's one, oh yeah, that's what it is. Their cover on here of Your Cheating Heart by Hank Williams from 1964. What a cover. I think is absolutely brilliant. So that was worth getting, 50p again. I'm rattling through these. I've got to get through these. Should I do these two? No, I'll do that one in a minute. Big gap in my Ash collection. I love Ash. I love all Britpop really, but Ash I particularly like, and I never had this. I don't know why. So this is Trailer. This is a compilation of their early singles. So Jack Names the Planets, Kung Fu, Uncle Pat. Is Kung Fu on here? Petrol, Get Out, Obscure Thing. Maybe Kung Fu's not on here. No, it doesn't look like it. Anyway, I've got that on a CD single anyway, so that's not bad. But I didn't have this, and their early stuff is really rocking, really rocking. I really like Ash. I kept buying all of their stuff long after the Britpop ended. Really should organise myself and get their really recent stuff that I've done. Right, do that one in a minute. This is a good comp. So you can always pick up like old magazine front cover CDs all over the place. Lots from Mojo, lots from Uncut, and all over. This one's from Kerrang. This is a mixtape made by the Hives. Home Taping Volume 1. I think I've got Home Taping Volume 2 somewhere as well, which was by Amen, metal band. But this is fantastic stuff. You've got Radio Birdman, Helicopters, people like the Oblivions. You've got Newborn Turks, Dead Kennedys doing a live version of Holiday in Cambodia. Got the Damned doing New Rose. Flaming Groovies. John Spencer Blues Explosion. Bell Rays. Detroit Cobras. Just brilliant, absolutely brilliant compilation. I love listening to that in the car. This is a car CD for me. This is fantastic. What else we got? This was a good one for 50p. Motown Sings the Beatles. I think I've seen James Gris's show the vinyl, possibly, maybe a CD. I can't remember. I don't know. I've seen somebody show this anyway. But there's some stellar versions on here. Things like, what was on here? The Edwin Starr version of My Sweet Lord. Sarita's version of She's Leaving Home was a top one. Marvin Gaye on Yesterday. I prefer it. I really prefer it to the, dare I say it, Beatles version? I don't know. But it breathed new life into it for me. Four Tops doing Eleanor Rigby's a good one as well. Rounded out by some of the originals that the Beatles covered. So you've got Money by Barrett Strong. You've got Smokey Robinson, You've Really Got a Hold on Me. Marvelettes doing Please Mr. Postman. So that is a stellar comp. Do this one. I just picked this up because it looked interesting. So this is Stan Bush and Barrage. Barrage. Exactly what it looks like. This is a hair metal album, 80s rock. I know nothing about him. This looks like it's actually a reissue. Yeah, it's a reissue from 2011. But this is good melodic, heavy, hard rock from the 80s. I really enjoyed listening to this. I'm sure if I actually read the liner notes, there would be some information there, but I haven't got around to doing it. In fact, there is even notes on the back that I haven't read yet. This is pathetic. Yeah, good pop rock. I think this is this his debut? Is this a major label debut? Might be. Yeah, it sounds really good in the car. I mean, now I listen to most CDs probably in the car. I tend not to listen to them. Oh, yeah. I tend not to listen to them at home unless I'm in bed because I've just got an old personal CD player. So I just hook my headphones up to that and lie in bed listening to it. So that's quite nice. I've got that. Right. This was a brilliant pickup for £1. So this is 10,000 Days by Tool. Great album, really good album. But it's lovely to have this packaging. So you've got a stereoscopic viewer here, and what you do is, so you can hook it up like that, and then as you look at the pictures, obviously you won't be able to do that, but as you look through there, this becomes a 3D picture. So every page on this little booklet becomes a 3D picture. It's really nice packaging and a great album to boot. Tool, I think, a bit of an acquired taste for most people. They do wander on a bit sometimes. Personally, I actually do prefer Perfect Circle, which was Maynard's other band that he started around, what was it, year 2000? They just seem a lot punchier for me. I don't know. I'm not a big proggy guy, so maybe that's why. I like the punchy, shorter stuff that's on that Perfect Circle tend to do. So that's that one. This was a brilliant find. I love this. So this is Sneaker Pimps this is Sneaker Pimps' album Bloodsport. So Sneaker Pimps were a kind of a trip hop dance act, maybe around 2000, late 90s. And they'd had a fairly big hit with Six Underground. Now that first album, which I do have somewhere, featured a female singer, and I don't know what her name is, but she left after the first album, or they got rid of her. I don't know what the case was. And they got in, I think the main person behind the band took lead vocals, or they got a male vocalist in anyway. Not really altogether sure. I'm not even sure if that's the whole booklet. So, but this is still elements of trip hop, but it's much more indie. There's more guitars on it there. So I think this is their third album, I think. This is a great listen. If you see this one, I would definitely urge you to pick it up. It's a really good album. It's such a shame it got virtually ignored, I think. I think they might have had record label troubles and just all kinds of stuff going on. But that's Sneaker Pimp's Bloodsport. Really enjoyed that one. I do like Zooey Deschanel. I just like her. What was that? 500 Days of Summer. I think she was in that, wasn't she? But she also records as She and Him with what's his name? M Ward. And I've got a couple of their CDs now. It's very retro feel. It's very almost 1950s, early 60s kind of style, especially on this one, because this is called Classics, and it's they're covers of a load of early 60s songs, late 50s, early 60s. Things like Oh No, Not My Baby's on here. Unchained, do a version of Unchained Melody. They actually do We'll Meet Again, which sounds all right, unlike the Byrds version on their debut album. So that was a good pickup, and it didn't cost 10 quid. There's no way I'd pay 10 quid for a CD now. So that was top. Good listen. One of my favourite bands of the 80s, got to be one of my favourite bands of the late 80s, maybe early 90s they stretched into, didn't they? So this, of course, is Sugar Cubes. This is their greatest hits. The great crossover Potential, which is probably right. They only ever had one hit, and that was called Hit. But I've got the first album on tape, the second album on vinyl, and the third album on CD, and I've got this greatest hits CD as well. Every single one of these tracks on here is brilliant. It's quite nicely split between the three albums. You've got 4, I think it's 5 from the first one, 4 from the second one, and 4 from the third one. So of course you get Hit, or was it 5 from the third one? I'm not sure, but anyway, of course you get Hit, but you get things like from Birthday. What a bolt from the blue that song was. I remember just watching, I think it would have been a chart show when it was still on Channel 4 before it went over to ITV. Watch it it seemed to be number 1 forever on the indie chart, and it was such a gorgeous song. But also things like Cold Sweat, Deus, Planet, Hit, of course, the hit. Things like Walkabout. Thankfully, not too much Ina on here, which is great. And of course, after this, Bjork went on to even more unbelievable things and some absolutely amazing albums. So there we go. Sugar Cubes, great crossover potential. Dear me, I'll get my teeth back in a minute. This one was a bit meh. So I'd never seen this around before. So this is, I think this might be the last Cardigans CD album. So this is Cardigans Super Extra Gravity. It's quite pretty. I mean, the Cardigans were always quite a pretty sounding band. Like very almost twee, taking that sort of late 80s, that C86 aesthetic to their song. They're very lightweight sometimes, but that lightness really was one of their greatest strengths at times. Did some absolutely brilliant albums in the 90s. This came out after, what was it? Was it called Gran Turismo? I think the one before this, I'm not sure. This was released in 2005. It's a nice album, but it kind of drifts by a little bit. It doesn't really grab you by the scruff of the neck and slap you around the face and say, listen to me. It's kind of bit of a background music album. It's nice, but it's not really anything amazing. Pretty bland CD there. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to claim 50p or whatever it cost me. This one was really good, and I've left the label on it, the price sticker on this one. So this is B.B. King Portrait. Got a foil cover on there, which is giving off loads of glare. So this is an overview of his, I think it's his early stuff. Some kind of budget release. it's the early stuff. It sounds really early. He doesn't actually even play any solos on the early stuff. Things like Miss Martha King, Got the Blues, Mistreated Woman. Then it becomes more of a big band sound later on. I'm not sure the age of these recordings at all. Oh, 1949, 50, so it's early. Yeah, it's probably as early as Sides, to be honest. Like 1949, 1950, 51, 52. But it's a really good listen. It's interesting to see how his sound evolved in such a short space of time, really. That's a really good listen. I really enjoyed that. That was really good. Right, do these two together. So when was this one released? 2006. So in the late 2000s, this person was absolutely inescapable at times. So we've got a couple of CDs from Lily Allen. So we've got one there, one there. So these are our first two albums. So we've got, what's this one called? This is called All Right Still. And this one's called, and I keep forgetting this, It's Not Me, It's You. This is a superior album. This is great. This is full of cheeky pop. She sounds like she's a right character on this. Things like LDN, Smile, which is a great, I think, doesn't it sample Althea and Donna on there? Sounds like it. Things like Alfie. What was the other big single off it? Littlest Things. Littlest Things was another single, wasn't it? But the whole album is just, I find it joyful. This is a joyful listen, this one. This one, not quite such a joyful listen. This is, I don't know, there's something about this, it just doesn't sit right with me, this one. This was huge though. I think this was a number one. It seems to be more, trying to think of the best word really. Jaded almost. I don't know. This just seems full of joy. This seems a bit jaded to me. I don't know. It's just not the same. But what it is, it's a dub. This one's a double CD. Well, it's not. It's a CD DVD package, which I haven't listened to the. Okay, I haven't watched the DVD yet. But on the CD, it's got loads of extra tracks, and it's got 6 tracks from an acoustic session where she recorded some of these, like things like The Fear, Who'd Have Known, I Could Say, and all of that, acoustically, and they sound brilliant. I wish she'd done the whole album like that. I think it sounds way better. And then they've got covers of Mr. Blue Sky and Womanizers on here as well. And a bit Britney Spears song. So that was good. That one's even better. Fantastic, that one. Right. Okay, what we got? Oh yeah, I'm going 10 to the dozen here. Right. I was so happy to pick this up at last. I've been looking for a copy on vinyl, CD or something for ages. Star Wars: A New Hope soundtrack. I love the Star Wars music, probably because I've seen the movies so often. But to me, this is so evocative of a certain, well, not even certain time, the whole of my life. I mean, I've watched Star Wars over and over again, especially the original trilogy. Can't get this open. Hang on. There we go. So there we go. I absolutely love this, and my love for Star Wars. Yeah, that's just from the 20th Century Fox fanfare all the way through to the Throne Room's music. Fantastic. Now I do still watch all the Star Wars stuff, and The Mandalorian is glorious. Not so keen on the last trilogy. It's okay. Actually, Force Awakens I really enjoyed, even though it was a rewrite in New Hope. But this film was all right. It was all right. It carried the story on. But the music's still by John Williams. It still sounds good. Not so sure about this picture in there. It's a bit boring. It's quite nice, but I don't know. Could have chosen something a little bit more dramatic. It was nice to get it. It was nice to get that one. Theme for the soundtrack for The Last Jedi. Right, nearly there. I bet you're going, oh my god, when we run out of these blooming things. This was probably the best of the bunch of this. So I picked up a copy of On the Corner by Miles Davis. This was a real eye-opener. I'd never heard this before I stuck it in my CD player. This is just jamming. This is a jam, or 4 jams, or I don't know, 7 tracks. I don't know. It's on this. It's split into 4 different selections. I adore this. I've played it a fair few times now. I think this is an incredible record. Absolutely blown away by this. I didn't know this was like this. I've never. It is obviously jazz, but it's rock. I mean, it's going to appeal to me more anyway, isn't it? I suppose. I am getting into jazz now, way more than I used to. But this is fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So I was so happy to pick this one up on the corner. And then got a few left. This was an interesting listen. It was all right. It's not nothing, no great shakes. This is everything with what's this? Off to Heaven. Fairly typical. Now I think this was released. When was this released? 2015. So fairly typical sort of indie sound from the last 10 years. It's not my greatest. I've not been a big fan of a lot of indie stuff in the last 10 years or so, especially the last 5. And this is kind of that sort of poppy, indie, dancey kind of mix that a lot of bands seem to have followed. Not that wonderful. It's all right. And then 3 CDs I picked up from the local record store for 99p each. I got The Computers with Birth, Death. Now I'm sure I've heard other stuff by The Computers, and it was much more punky than this. This is almost sounds like it's influenced by Dexys a lot. If I'm remembering this right, there's a fair amount of horns on there. It's a lot more light. It's a lot less heavy, but it's a good album. It's a really good album. Really enjoyed listening to that. Lovely package as well. So there's that. This was actually still sealed when I got this. Yeah, really good album that is. That's The Computers with Birth, Death. Nearly there. We'll do that one last. This is, in places, this is really good. In places, this is absolutely awful. This is Bromhead's Jacket, and this is Dits. This is called Dits from the Commuter Belt. So Bromhead's Jacket, well, they formed in Sheffield, but I think they had, originally from the south. I think they met at Sheffield Uni. I think they were connected slightly to Arctic Monkeys. I'm sure somebody will put me right. The lyrics are a bit clunky on this. I don't think they're a great lyricist, but when they start making a bit of a racket, they sound really good. But the slower songs, they do a couple of slow songs, and they don't work. For me, they just don't work. The rhyme schemes are clunky. The imagery is all pretty poor. I'm not a big fan of their slow songs, but the faster stuff, yeah, it gets a good pace on, and I can imagine them going down a treat live really good. Yeah, enjoyed that. Well, most of it, apart from the slow stuff. And then the last one, this is Spinneret. And this is, this was kind of a super group. I can't remember exactly who's in this. It's Brodie Dahl, who's that. She was in, oh good, what band was she in? I can't even blooming remember now. It's Brodie Dahl with a few other people, and I can't, oh, here we go. Alan Johannes, Tony Bevel, Aqua, Jack Irons. Jack Irons played with Chili Peppers, of course. It came to me. I'll have to put it down here somewhere. This is good. This is really good. I really enjoyed this. This is good, hard, punky, rocky stuff. Really enjoyed that Spinneret CD there. Okay, so there we go. So that's all my early January CD pickups. I've already bought stuff since then. So in the last few days, I've got enough for at least another video already. So I'll probably try and do one around the end of January, maybe early February, to let you know let you know, because I know you can't wait. I know you can't wait what I've found on CD. There will be another vinyl video very soon. And that's it for now. So thanks very much for taking the time to listen to my waffle. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.